Hey guys, Danny here, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different to the normal series. So just before the video, I'd like to say I'm not a great sniper, I'm just an average one. I've played for a long time and I've learned a few tips and tricks and a few places that can be used to snipe effectively under the right circumstances. I cannot show you every spot, just the main ones, or else it would be a 20 or 30 minute long video, and I'm sure if I did that, a lot of you would be very bored with this video. So, I'm not telling you to use these spots, it's just a bit of advice. If you use them, that's wonderful. If not, it's up to you, you may not even like these spots. And a lot of you might feel that way. But let's jump into the video, as always, thanks for watching. So the first spot we're going to be looking at today is the tree line that's just to the southeast of Stary. It's where most people come up from the south, and a lot of people end up just sitting in there and watching Stary if there's zombies there. I'm going to speak a little bit about the south tree line. It all depends on where you are in the tree line, but if you're at the front of the tree line, this generally applies to you. The tree line has really good concealment coming from all those conifer trees, so other players will find it harder to see you. You can see most of Stary from the front of the tree line. You're able to see if zombies are spawned, which can help you locate where the enemies are roughly in Stary. If the visibility is good, you can see the front of the sniper hill. You probably won't be able to shoot at it because it's about 800 or 900 meters. Well, you could shoot at it, but it would be quite difficult unless you are a really good sniper. Then you could, I suppose, go ahead and try that. There's a great place to counter snipe the south Stary hill. If you just move back in the tree line, you can still be behind trees and in cover, and you can just peek out and you can see pretty much the western side of that whole tree line. So that is a decent place to shoot at that. There is a great escape route. If you're trying to run out, if you're taking shots or something, you can just run south and you have trees either side of you, so it will be harder for other players to see you when you're running and for that player to hit you because of all that tree, all those trees and all that in the way. They probably won't be able to get you very easily. So there are a few disadvantages of the tree line. There's very little actual cover except for trees leaning out. If you move to the west a little bit, there is little stone walls that you can get under, which are pretty good cover. It is very common for players to actually check this area because a lot of players will be coming up from the south and be passing through here, because I know I do this every single time. They come up through the tree line, they might be easily able to spot you, or if you're firing they might be able to hear you and come up there. So the players behind Stary Hill, the North Stary Hill, they're completely covered because a lot of people like to come from that way as well, so you will not see people coming up there if they're on the north hand side, but if they do come up over the top and head to the south, you will see them then. But players can easily sneak up on you because there's so many conifers, and it is hard to see behind you when you're actually in there, so players can sneak up on you quite easily. That is a major disadvantage. So now we're really quickly going to go over some distances from the front of the tree line right now. So the red shack from the front of the tree line to the front of the red shack is 551 meters. As I was saying earlier, the North Sniper Hill is very far away. It's 891 meters to almost 900 meters. The electrical box is 854. That's quite a distance as well, but it is makeable. And then it's 900 meters to the back of the Sniper Hill. So moving on to the South Sniper Hill, I'm just going to move over there right now. So looking over, it's not too far. It's about 400 meters to the front edge of it, towards the road. To the back edge there, it's about 510 meters. So here's the front edge toward the road, 462 meters. Again, this all does depend on where you are, but from where I was, it gives you a rough estimate. So it's 564 to the right at the back. So the second location we're going to be looking at in Stary is Stary's South Sniper Hill. If you don't know where that is, if you just look south from the north of Stary, you'll just see the raised mound. So it's pretty small, but a lot of people do call it the South Sniper Hill. It is good for some things, but it is not a great overall location. But we're going to go over it nonetheless. So let's go over some more advantages and disadvantages of the South Sniper Hill in Stary Sobor. So the advantages are, it's great for sniping the main Sniper Hill. So you have a view of the whole front of the hill and down on the western side. So it's really good for looking at the front of that. If you can sneak up there, brilliant shot for there. It's easy to move down to the town because you're only 100 meters to the supermarket. So if you were getting shot from the southeast tree line, which was the last location, you'd be able to just sprint in there and you'd probably be okay. there's a good view of the south of Stary, like the whole south of Stary. You have a decent view from up there, and you have a great view of the large red barn on the eastern side of Stary. You can see the whole top level and you can see the ladder going up, so it's really good if you're trying to watch there. So disadvantages are there's very little cover and concealment there. It's hard to escape from due to little cover, so if you're trying to run on the opposite direction south, there is very little coverage, just open fields from there. The previous location is really easy to get sniped from, so if you're on the eastern side of that near the road, you can very easily get sniped from the last location. And zombies spawn all around the town from the supermarket, so there is a lot of zombies, so it is pretty easy to notice if someone is there. So we're going to go over a few more distances from this hill. So as you can see the red barn right there, the distance to the closest side of that red barn is 427 meters. So the distance doesn't actually change, even though it will be at a slightly longer distance to the back. That's just the way Arma programs that house. So if you want to have a look up to the north hill, we'll have a look up there. It's about 390 meters to the top, 400 meters, and then to the back edge it's another 400 meters. So it's roughly stays around 400 meters for that whole north hill. So if you zero for 400, you should be able to get someone. And again, it does matter where you are on the hill, so the distances might be slightly different for you. The third and final location we're going to be looking at is the infamous North Stary Hill. So if you have a sniper and you go to Stary, generally you end up here. It's quite a place for action. A lot of people like to move around here, so it's always extremely busy. This is a good place to snipe and it's a bad place at the same time, but I'm going to list out the advantages in a minute and we'll get right down to it. So let's talk a little bit about the final location, the North Stary Hill. So from up here there's really decent concealment from a lot of trees. They're not conifer trees, they're just normal, I think they're birch trees or something like that. There is cover in a few places from an electrical box, which if you look down into Stary, it's slightly out the east of the hill. There's also a rock on top of the hill which you can lean out of and you can go prone bind if you're taking shots. So there's some decent cover there. There's a great view of the hill to the south of Stary, so it's really good for sniping at that. Again, that hill, the south hill, is good at sniping to the north hill, which generally works out in sniping like that, but this is a really good place to snipe the south sniper hill. If you move in front of the electrical box, there's a good view of the tents. You won't see it here because this was actually just an Arma 2 editor, not DayZ. But if you can go prone in between some of those bushes there, so it is quite hard to spot you, and you can still keep a good eye on those tents. There's another really good view of the south sniper hill, and if the fog distance is good, there is a good view of the south tree line, or aka the first tree line that I showed you. There has to be quite a little amount of fog if you want to be able to see that very well. So the disadvantages are players can sneak up to you via the western tree line, so it's quite easy for players to get up there. A lot of zombies tend to spawn in the open fields to the north, which can give away your location very easily. The most common place to be camped by other snipers, and it's regularly checked by experienced players. So a lot of people, there is a lot of traffic up here generally. So let's talk a little bit more about distances. So if you're looking from the north hill down to the south hill, to the eastern part of the south hill it's about 500 meters, just a bit shorter. To the middle part it's about 400, and then to the slightly more western part it's about 390. So we're going to head over to the electrical box just in front of that and see what the ranges are to that, the big brown barn, which a lot of people actually like to go in even though it's a complete death trap. Let's have a look at the range. So the range is about 383 to that house. Again, the distance will change slightly, so it will be about 410 maybe to the very back of it. So it's not that much of a difference, but it should be taken into account. The first tree line we were in is about 800 to 880 meters away from the electrical box, so it is quite a long shot like I've said before. Well, that concludes my first video of the series. I hope you got something from this video. I'm sure I could improve the series, so if you have a suggestion, don't hesitate to leave a comment with your suggestion. I would really appreciate any of them. Thanks again guys, I really appreciate it.